edema, swelling, all that good stuff. Okay, palpating. When you pick a joint to palpate, whatever joint you do, this is not palpating. Don't just put your hand on and say, okay, I'm palpating. Because does my hand do anything? No. You want to get in and you want to actually feel the joint. Okay? So you want to feel around the joint.
Before?
Yeah. So same thing. But there's kind of two parts to palpation. Me beating on the joint, but also when I'm moving the joint around, I also leave my hand on that joint because I want to feel, is there any crepitus? Is there grinding? Is there popping while I'm moving around? So palpation kind of has two components. It's this. Does this hurt if I push around on it? No. Okay? And then when we go through the motions, which go through, does it hurt while you're doing the motions? Okay? This is not palpation. Okay? Okay. So active and passive range of motion. It's kind of one of these things where just think about what the joint can do and do it. Okay? Passive is when the provider is moving the joint around. Active is when you're having the patient move the joint around. Okay? So if I take her shoulder and I say, just want you to relax best you can, and I'm going to act as the muscle, and I'm moving the shoulder, which is popping like crazy. Okay? This is what? Active or passive? Passive. This is passive because I'm doing it. I want her to relax, and she actually does a pretty good job. So if you tell them to relax, and keep your arm out. Okay? If you tell them to relax, you do this. They're not relaxing. Okay? So relax. Relax.
Another trick that you guys can do, well, if you need to get people to relax, distract them with something. Have them wiggle their toes, or talk to them about something, and they'll forget what you're doing.
Okay. So then if I ask you to do the same thing, kind of do what I do, and she's doing it.
Oh, do this?
Yep. If she is doing it, then she's using her muscle, so that is active. Okay. When I am palpating, okay, when I'm having them do the passive, I do like to have my hand on their joint, if possible, okay? But when they're doing it, no, because if I have my hand here and I say, do this, yeah, my hand's kind of going to be in the way, so she may not get all the full range of motion you want to, okay? Okay, so what can the neck do?
Lateral flexion.
Yeah, down, back, side, side, circle one direction, circle the other direction, okay? So how are you going to do active with the neck? How are you going to do passive with the neck? Yeah, so same thing, just kind of relax. And my hands are going to be on the back of her spine, okay, on the cervical spine. Just kind of up, down,
the key to success
side,
here is be gentle.
side, and just kind of circle. And I'll tell her too, as I'm doing it, I'm going to let her know what direction I'm going to go, okay? So we're going to go towards your right, towards your left, and we'll go down, and we'll go back, and we'll just kind of do a circle, and we'll just kind of circle the other direction. Okay? Funny thing is, if they look like an idiot when you're doing it, they're doing it, I'm going to do it with them, so I look like an idiot. Because you ask someone to start doing something that looks funny, they're like, really, why am I doing this? If I'm doing it as well, they're kind of a little bit more comfortable doing it. Okay? TMJ. Okay? Great one. Maybe just open and close your jaw. Open and close. Jeez. You want to find where the joint comes together, okay? And you're basically just going to kind of put some pressure on it and feel it. I would recommend that everybody feels hers, okay? Because we definitely do have a freak of nature going on right here. Yeah. But seriously, that's impressive. No, really.
Not a good impressive.
We say because we care.
So, active. Am I going to grab her jaw and start doing this with it? No. So there is no active for TMJ. Okay, just passive. Shoulder.
Vice versa.
Yeah.
What did I say?
So vice versa.
Okay, there is no active, just passive.
No.
No.
There's no passive.
There is active. She's
Yes.
doing it.
Yes.
There's no passive.
Correct.
You got that, cameraman? Okay.
Editor's note.
So what can the shoulder do? Up,
Adduct, abduct.
out,
Flex.
in, back. Okay. So just have you relax. I'm just gonna move your arm around. So I'm just gonna put her arm up. Okay. And out to the side. And what I want you to do is take the top of your hand here. I kind of want you to bring it to the middle of your back the best you can. Do not force this. Okay, if she can do it, great. If she can't, wonderful. Good. Okay. And always remember, how many arms does she have? make sure you always do the other side as well. Okay? So some people will say, do I need to go all the way head to toe on one side and to the other side? You can if you want to. However, I do think it's better if you go from one side to the other, because why? You're comparing one side to the other. Okay? Elbow, what can the elbow do? Basically just this. Okay? What's the wrist do? Same thing, up and down, and it'll go side to side as well. Okay? Fingers, what do the fingers do? Okay? So fingers actually kind of have their own when it comes down to motor. Okay? But basically what your fingers do, push down, push up, spread out, and spread in. Okay? And those are what we'll do for motor as well. We're going to come back to hip, because that one's a little bit more of a pain because we got to move around to do it. What's the knee do?
Flex.
Okay. What's the ankle do? Up, ankle, foot, down, side, side, and rotation. Okay. So remember, everything that she does in her active motion, make sure you do it in passive motion. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Always remember, top of head, bottom of the feet, all the joints in between. Okay. What do we do for spine? That's the one I missed. That's the one right in the middle. Yep. Down, back, side,
Do
side,
you have them stand up?
and rotate.
Bottom,
Yes.
side? Okay.
Yep. And if I remember correctly, there is no passive for the spine. Correct. So TMJ, there's no passive, and spine.
Just remember too, when you're doing spine, that you're isolating the you're isolating the pelvis, so they're not.
Do you like stand behind them?
Nope, I'm gonna show you. Just hop up for me. Face me. Okay. So key thing is, when I always tell my patient, do what I do, and I tell them before I do it, I'm gonna say bend forward. Bend forward very slowly. Okay. And if I do what they do, okay, we would have just conked heads. Okay. So you're gonna want to kind of stand off to their side. And if they're stable people, I wouldn't really worry about them falling over and stuff. If they are unstable, if they're a little bit older, if they need to kind of put one hand on the table to support themselves or to gather their balance, that's fine as well. Okay? But be careful when you're standing in front of them that if you do a forward movement and they do a forward movement, you guys may collide. Okay? Let's sit back down. So that's it. We'll come back to hip. So, hip is one of those where there's a couple different ways that you can do it. You can do a lot of it laying down. You can do some of it standing up. You can put together whatever way you want to. But with the hip, I think it's easier if you have them stand up and it's just kind of hip out, back, cross, cross. Okay, so we covered all the motions, right? Okay. But how am I going to do that passive? A lot of times you're going to have them lay down. So maybe lay down for me. And again, I'm going to put, as they're doing their passive motion, their active motion, I like to have my hand on the joint. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is bring it up, down. I'm going to bring your leg out towards me, bring it across your legs as the best you can. Okay. Personally, when we do that, I like to have them, and I don't want to mess with that knee. I'm familiar with this one. I'll maybe bend your knee for me, kind of cross your legs. There you go. And I like to push and see how far out we can actually go. You don't have to do that. Coming across the leg like this is just fine. Okay? Then, this is the one a lot of people forget. So we went up, halfway down, side to side. Which way do we have to go? We gotta go back. So make a flip over in the belly. And then I just want you to relax best you can for me. And just bring the leg up. Good. And same thing this one. Bring the leg up. Good. Okay?
How do you do this with an older person?